Hey peeps, ran out of poison, so I got some more. And haha, the bear changed its name. Look at that. It says BioAdvanced. Right. But I'm going to put some of this into this. See, I'm using the correct bottle. And I'm not going to put it 50-50 this time. I'm going to put 100% strength of this stuff in there. And I'm going to show you guys who may be interested in shooting videos, or maybe you already are, a couple of really quick tips. Only take a couple of seconds. I got this selfie tripod. I do have a link in the description below. Why they call it a selfie tripod is because you can literally hold it and choose the length and use it as a selfie thing. And it comes with this button, which you pair with Bluetooth to your phone so you can tell it to take a picture or start recording. Why I use it is because of this thumb wheel. It turns this so I can put whatever I want on there, and I usually put my gimbal. It doesn't have to be a gimbal, it can be a phone mount. This thing comes with a phone mount, but let's say you have a ball adapter or something, which you don't really need because this, you loosen this and you could change the angle, but whatever, I digress. This is something I use a lot though, is a camera tripod with a phone mount. This is a new one I got off Amazon recently, and here's a adapter so I can put it at any old angle. And then I put a power bank down at the bottom and strapped it on so that between shots I can charge my phone. I found out it is not good to have your phone on a charger while it's filming because then your battery might explode. I actually had one explode. I'm not going to do it that way anymore. I try to keep my battery between 20 and 80. Obviously when I start it's at 100, but if it starts getting down really low, like say 40 or 30%, I'm setting up my shot. I'll plug this in, charge it up a little bit while I set up the shot, and then I'll shoot a scene with this unplugged and then plug it back in after the scene to bring the charge back up. Anyways, onto the poison. I hate poison ivy, poison ivy's evil. I'm gonna make it all die. Die, poison ivy, die. Alright, save some for 50-50 fun times later. It's definitely getting more yellow as the days go by with some brown spots and stuff. But I checked the weather and it's not going to rain for a few days. So I'm going to experiment with some 100% that I poured in here and see how it does without killing the oriental grass. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. I hate you, poison ivy. Alright, now let's make some Chicken Alfredo, which was the other chicken meal that I got the idea of when this guy was talking about using wraps. So if you don't like cooking with 3 pans, I have one thing to say to you. Quit being a crybaby. It's not that hard.
You're baby.
So this one is going to be making the Alfredo sauce. This is for the chicken, and that's for the noodles. And here's some beautiful B-roll of the shiitake noodles that apparently use konjac flour, which have no carbs or whatever.
It just looks like a bunch of clear noodles.
This has got 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, which is about the equivalent of 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of butter, and this one's got 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And this, I've just submerged the noodles with water. This particular kind of noodle says you don't have to boil them, just warm them back up, but I like to boil them so that I can get them extra soft and add salt and butter.
And have it have the big taste.
Yeah, big tasty. This guy loves it.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite meals that my dad makes.
We tried ghost pepper on eggs yesterday, and I didn't taste it, but he's like, I don't taste anything, it's just burning. So I think, what if we made a ghost pepper sauce for our chicken today, but only had a drop of ghost pepper, like a whole bunch of habanero and serrano?
Yeah, I want that. That sounds good.
Let's try this random habanero sauce from Kroger. There we go. Random habanero sauce to the rescue. This comes from a frozen bag of chicken that I've already cooked and store in the fridge for meals. Now some cayenne. And the Frank's Red Hot. Good for that. And I only need a tiny bit of ghost pepper. Yeah, so I'm going to take some of that out because it's still isolated.
Why doesn't it not have a protecting cap on it?
You know what? I might take the protected cap out of the habanero and move it over.
Yeah, the habanero isn't very deadly.
Now I'm going to add the cream cheese to the saucepan. We have to wait for that to get melted. Alright, that's melted. Now we add the heavy cream, and you want to whisk it all together real good. And let it simmer.
The iodine.
I like smart balance in my noodles. I don't mind some iodized salt. Most of my stuff gets pink salt, but since I like to use a lot for my noodles, that's going to give me a lot of iodine.
And you need iodine in your life for some reason. I don't know why though.
It's a necessary nutrient.
But nobody knows. Why would you?
It's not that nobody knows, it's just I don't know. Scientists and doctors know. I'm going to whisk in the Parmesan cheese. This is an ingredient you can add a little bit more of if it's not thick enough. There's my hot sauce abomination.
The ingestion of iodine prevents iodine deficiency. Horrible.
Iodine deficiency, but it still doesn't say why you need it. It's talking about how it prevents iodine deficiency. Iodine deficiency affects about 2 million people, the leading preventable cause of intellectual and developmental disabilities. There it is. So it's for your brain.
Okay.
Why is
Like
it?
some of our YouTube videos are for your brain.
Yep. Now the recipe calls for white pepper and nutmeg, but nutmeg makes it taste like it's trying to be cookies or something. So I just put the white pepper.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. And also some pink salt. Oh, this stuff. This stuff is yummy.
Oh.
So this sauce isn't thick enough for my taste, so I'm gonna add some more Parmesan. It melts right away, which is great. Ow, warm. Can you give me 2 hot pads?
Why are you saying ow warm?
Because it's burning me.
You should say ow hot.
Ew. Steaming my face off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this sauce is still a little too runny for my taste, so I got
But
some.
you didn't even taste it yet.
Oh, I mean thick enough when I stir it. I'm gonna use a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum, and I'm just gonna whisk that in while the burner's still on, obviously, because you want to cook it to make it dissolve quicker. Can I do this left-handed? Well, it's actually right-handed, but my left wrist is twisting in an awkward way.
Ow.
You know what the most disturbing part of your Who Took the Winnie video is?
What?
When you guys are lid chopping the Winnie and that real dog, Lucy, is like, woo, woo, woo. That dog recognizes implied dog violence.
You didn't know Who Took Winnie was a horse.
That's funny how you stopped yourself. You didn't know Who Took Winnie was a horse. No, it's not.
Guess how big this is compared to my dad.
If it's too much, you can give me some.
Never.
How'd I do?
I don't know yet because it's
Still too warm?
Yeah.
When I discovered Thrive Market had these noodles, first thing I did was Google keto Alfredo sauce. It's right there. Like, second or third page was ingredients I was comfortable with cooking that I have been cooking with for a couple years. Hot. It's like after eating food like this, you don't even want restaurants anymore.
This is like better than Olive Garden.
I need to install an air cooler on this meal.
I have a good meal at $100 restaurant than for instead of having this for like $10, it tasting about the same or even better.
I was literally on Thrive Market, and they have a column on the left so that you can sort all the products they sell by recipe, and I chose ketogenic, and I was just scrolling through the pages, just being a vegetable, you know, staring at the internet, going scroll, scroll, scroll.
Being a vegetable.
Yeah, like a couch potato. But then it said noodles. And I was like, what? I don't believe you. And I opened it up and I read the macros. And now for a new segment that I call Enjoy This Random Thing. I was looking for a GIF from my previous video, and for some reason this weirdness came up. It's about cats putting dookies in a litter box, playing and scratching with their dookies in the litter box. You clean it up, and they just do it again. It's a classic example of wash, rinse, repeat. And that concludes Enjoy This Random Thing. Alright, it's been a couple days since the last time I sprayed, and it looks like it's doing pretty good, killing the leaves, but it also looks like the oriental grass is dying, which is not cool. But how does the oriental grass on this side compare to the other side? Because I didn't spray the other side. To me, it looks like oriental grass is greener. Sprayed, not sprayed. I'm gonna give them a couple more sprays. Any poison ivy that I see that's freaking not dead. Oh, the poison ivy over here is dying. You can see it, it's like all brown. I also mixed some more 50-50 of the Roundup Ultra Concentrate Extra Death in the red bottle. I'm gonna show you some places and some ways you can use it. Like where you don't necessarily need something to be growing. Like, stop growing there, grass. It's a dumb place. You can't get back there with the weed eater, you're evil. And places like this. Like, my house is not an arboretum. You normally hit this with a weed eater, but you know, once a year I kill it with some poison. There's that Burkberg dog. That'd give me the business. This is the area that I should have mulch, but I don't. Because I have a busted back, and picking up a bag of mulch would be suicide. Another good place for me to spray this is in the cracks. As you can probably tell, I already sprayed it a little bit. But it's like, stop trying to grow in my cracks and spread my cracks. Stupid grass. It's where I drive my car. Time machine. Here's a good one. This is where the weeds taunt me and try to passively destroy my internets. Because they know I will come at them with weed eater, and that little shred of plastic over there, right over there, is a part of my internet wire. Communism, communism, get it out of my life. There's another stupid I can't reach with weed eater spot. Way down in the corner. That should do it. Check this out. This is the sweetness. I have this evil tree stump in my yard. It's a giant tree stump. And it's got all these little roots that come up all over the yard and have these trees come up. And this is trying to destroy the foundation. And I had to put hydraulic cement in there to stop the leaks going into my basement. Then I got a 3/8 inch drill bit drilled into here and poured 100% of Roundup Concentrate Extra Death in the red bottle into there 3 times. And then it quit growing. After, of course, I chopped it off first. And it did the same thing with this one. And this one. See the hole? And that big one over there. It got the treatments. See the holes? I got tired of cutting off the little branches that kept coming out of it. And this one was trying to be a tree. Landlord thought it was a bush, and I was like, no, lol, that's a tree. So I killed it as well. You can see a drill hole there, a drill hole there, there. Well, everywhere. I drilled everywhere I could and drowned it in this stuff. But 100%, not 50-50 like this is. And there's a special one that I'm leaving in the ground. It's kind of in the middle of my yard. Right there. That I killed. Reason why I leave that one, because it helps me with the geometry of mowing my lawn. Knowing how far away to do from the garage before I turn left to go do another part of the lawn. Blah, 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 blah. It's all math and sciencey. But here is the giant tree stump. When I came in and moved into this house, I did not know there was this giant tree stump in the yard because there was so much Jumanji explosion of grass everywhere and crazy weeds. You couldn't even see this thing. You see this evil stuff right there? Bet you can't guess what that is. That needs to die is what that is. That's poison ivy. Because there, check this out. Here's the root of the poison ivy. It looks fuzzy. I killed that root already and ripped a bunch of it out. I'm like, get out of my life, you commie. And there's also a bunch rooted in the ground around here. And I ripped it out of there with a saw. I'm not making it up. I used a saw and pushed it into the ground and went a bunch of different ways with gloves, and then ripped them out and threw them in a bag. Now the grass took over and the universe was a happy place. Look at these guys. They think they own the place. Like I told you before, they're scaredy cats. If I walk towards them, there goes that one. There goes that one. I've never done anything to hurt these cats. That one's like, he's still 12 feet away, I don't care. He's social distancing. I'm gonna lick my junk and stuff. Watch. They're so scaredy cats. Meow. Meow, scaredy cats. Oh well.